old bloke, and they sell Maltesers and sherbet dib-dabs and pint bottles of cider and beer and stuff like that. And on the right is a door. It says lounge. And in there's a smattering of people sitting about having a chit chat. And on the left is a bar. And in there you've got all manners of people, lots and lots throughout the ages, dogs, pipes, cigars, banter, fun, smoke. Lots of smoke.
Fun and smoke?
Yeah.
They all go together, don't they?
Well, we don't all see the world the same, Dave. But this is about bad habits and joyous lifestyles, and it's called Beer, Fags and Fatty Food. I can't smoke indoors no more, not even in the loo. The nanny state has brought new rules that's caused a right to do. We used to gather in the bar, warm beer and fag in hand. We'd dance with a bird we fancied and listen to a band. Non-smokers gathered in the lounge in groups of one or two, drinking bubbly water and planning what to do. They said you can't keep smoking or drinking too much beer or eating chips and mushy peas. For us, they lived in fear. They told us to stop smoking. We told them to fuck off. They raised the fucking taxes to help us cease our cough. They told us to eat healthy and not drink too much beer. To help us to get better, they'd make it very dear. We figured out a system, because the party will never die, of course. We figured out a system, and now we brew our own. Import our fags from Istanbul and dance at fucking home. So listen here, you smarty pants, see what you've fucking done. There were lots of pubs before your rants, and now they've fucking gone. But our party will continue, you self-righteous bowler hat. I don't want to get too angry.
I can see a rhyme coming on here.
So drink your bubbly water and go home to your flat. And as you party on your own, on Facebook or on Twitter, I'll be smoking fags with some old mates and drinking some best bitter. Yay! Yay! Anyway, I've always said, if you want to go to a restaurant where they don't have smoking, go to a restaurant where they don't have smoking. And if you want to go to a restaurant where you do want smoking, go to a restaurant where they have smoking. And then people are free to smoke or not smoke. That's what I think should happen. And if you don't smoke and you don't want to work there, don't work there. And if you do smoke and you do want to work there, work there. I don't care. I really don't. But I'll tell you what happened. And it's happened to bars, because this is what happened actually. All the smokers went outside, and the non-smokers realised that's where the party was, so they toddled off with the smokers, and then everybody's outside, and I'm standing at the bar like this, wondering why I'm not selling tickets to my gig. Anyway, that's my thought on it. Imagine, if you will, a large circle, a clock perhaps, and at the top of the clock, 12 o'clock, represents ultimate freedom, liberty, peaceful living, happiness. And at the bottom of the clock, 6 o'clock, you have represented oppression and conflict and the struggle for freedom. And everything in between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock represents the degeneration of society that leads to oppression. And everything between 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock leads to the struggle out. And it doesn't matter, you can go all the way through history and look at all of the different civilisations around the world, and you can see that they all face this. They all go round in a circle. It's like that. And so the struggle is continuous. And wherever you are in the world, you've got different points of view, different ideals, different religions, different politics, blah, blah, blah. So it's a continual thing. And here we are, deciding to read an angry poem called Beware the Fourth Reich. I'll try and be gentle. I saw it on the news. Everyone's saying it. It's obvious. I'm going with the science. You're a denier. And it gets angry. And I think to myself, when the useful idiot has bowed to the loud applause of corporate and media control, whilst enjoying the pat on the back from a variety of peers, writhing in the mutual passion, writhing in the passion of mutual approbation, such a good little human. Meanwhile, your freedom is consumed in the lusts of your own emotion. You never ate the rich. Laughable. You didn't realise it was never about the money. They've always had that. You never realised you were being distracted by your own sense of injustice. Righteous and moral indignation. And lurking there like a self-justifying demon in the shadows was jealousy, bitterness, intolerance, and yes, hatred. Bubbling away like a festering pus-ridden boil, another little man, tribalised by a pretence of social justice. They don't know what it means, but always somebody else's responsibility. You look to the great and the good for answers, for redress. You gave Europe permission to be oppressed. You couldn't be bothered with personal responsibility, and while your distraction created suffering, they ate your freedom. Your rights withered to an oppressive nothing. Nothing as they built back better. You will own nothing and you'll be happy, they said. So who owns all of this new nothing then? The great and the good, perhaps? A new bourgeoisie giving their goods to an obedient proletariat? Your young will die in the future fight that aims to recover the freedom you gave away to ghastly corporatism, to an elite cabal that stole the control and power you once had over your own destiny. And while you blamed bankers and politicians for your hardships, they danced from the strings of the master puppeteer. We tried to tell you, but you shouted us down. You shouted down the prophet and lambasted the warnings, refused to see the lie. Denier! Denier! You were angry. Man, I was just trying to get on. They killed you for your own good. They killed you to save the planet. They killed you to protect their own lusts for luxurious lifestyles. They weren't inconvenienced by this unfolding disaster. They agitated it. Their manifest opulence shined above you. Shall you worship at those ivory towers? Will you? And as you pointed and accused, they drove around in convoys of blacked out 4x4s, ushered through security to their private jets, whilst discussing all the reasons why you couldn't fly, why you couldn't be oppressed by airport security and queues, to be gratefully herded like cattle into a tiny space in a tin tube for one poxy fucking yearly week in the sun. That's all, just that. Some people went twice. Who cares? They do. And as you worshipped, you lauded their efforts as commendable, caring. It's for our good, you said. It's to save us, you insisted. And as they controlled the narrative, as they manufactured their evidence, you believed the lie. Shall we have a song?
Yeah.